Hello, everybody. Good morning, and thank you for joining us for the third edition of our Grow My Business webinar series. Just to introduce myself, my name is Yewande Akomolafe Kalu. I lead the storytelling team at Flutterwave. And a bit of background on what Grow My Business is well, Flutterwave, we process payments for banks, for businesses, and for individuals. Every size of business, from small, medium businesses, freelancers, individual businesses, all the way up to enterprise. And so we really wanted to be able to give the businesses that use our services and other businesses the information that they need to kind of get through this crisis, but also position themselves for success after. And so we've been having a series of webinars that are very informative and basically give you the tips and information that you need to succeed. So on today's webinar, we're going to have Tolu. She is the Google Partners lead for West Africa, and she's going to be talking about strategic ways to grow your business. And then we're also going to have Zainab. She is vertical lead in the growth team, and she is going to be talking about what Flutterwave can do to help your business to succeed during this time. We're going to kick off within a few seconds. I just wanted to do a quick intro. Some house rules. If you have questions, we're going to be taking questions after the second session. So if you have questions, there's a Q&A section down below. You can leave your questions there, or you can use the chat function as well. Once the question pops into your head, please feel free to just type it, and then we'll be able to answer. So we have Zainab here. So she will be the one that will be taking us through the first session. And then after that, we'll have Tolu on for the second session. So hi, Zainab.
Hi, Wendy. How are you doing?
Fine, thank you. I'm just going to share the presentation. Okay.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to the third edition of the Grow My Business webinar, organized by Flutterwave. So this series basically is somebody might need to mute. Okay, so this series basically is for business owners, right? We have partnered with a couple of industry experts to come speak to us regarding what we should do, what we should not do as business owners, you know, especially around this period of lockdown. There's lots of uncertainty. How do we grow our business? Can we even sustain our business? What are the things that we need to do? What should we be looking out for? So that's the whole idea of this webinar series. Like I said, this is the third edition. We will be joined by Tolu. She'll be presenting right after. Tolu is from Google. And yeah, so I'll just go right ahead into the presentation. So, of course, we know what's going on around us, COVID-19. Everybody's talking lockdown. Everybody's talking COVID-19. There's a lot of restrictions. And then things are not going as we thought they would go, especially at the beginning of the year. So what's happened is business owners, especially those with physical locations, they've had to shut down their stores and they're no longer selling. So what is the implication of that? You know, is it that that's the end of it for you? As long as there's a lockdown, you can't sell as a business owner, or are there other ways that we can, you know, still make sales and even sustain our businesses during this period? So Flutterwave as an organization has sort of come up with a response to say, these are the things we think you should look out for. We've come up with certain packages for business owners to let them know that we care about you. And these are some of the things that we've put together for you, especially in this period where we understand that you'd had to shut down your physical locations or, you know, stop selling altogether. So one of those things we've come up with is this webinar, right? The Grow My Business webinar. So we have this every Monday, like I said, and it's basically a response to what's happening around us. We know there's a lot of uncertainty. People don't really know what to do next, where to turn to for the right information, the right tools, So that's why we've organized this webinar. Like I said, this is the third edition. The first one we had with AGS Tribe. She came to talk to us about what to do and what not to do as a business owner, especially around COVID-19. The second edition was with Sam K of TNT Partners from South Africa. So she came to talk to us about what you should do in terms of prices, because this is basically a crisis situation. What are the things you should do as a business owner in terms of prices? And then we've also come with Tolu of Google, who's going to be telling us how to grow and sustain your business, especially in times like this. So this webinar is one of the responses we've come up with for business owners, and we'll be having it every Monday. So please stay tuned. If this is your first time, welcome. And yeah, so just get ready for more of such sessions where we'll be empowering you with the right tools and the right resources to grow and sustain your business over this period. Next slide, please. Okay, so another thing we have come up with is the listing of businesses on Google My Business. Again, in partnership with Google, we have decided to list businesses on the Google My Business platform. What this does basically is it ensures there's visibility. So we understand that now, you know, you're at a crossroads, you don't really know what to do next, your business is shut down, but you can still have that visibility, right? The lockdown is not going to be forever. And then even while the lockdown is ongoing, you can actually still make sales, right? So people need to know that your business exists. They need to have that visibility in your business. So today, someone does a search about your business. What comes up on Google? Does anything come up at all? So if your business is listed on Google My Business platform, for example, once a search is done, details about your business is displayed for the person doing the search, and not just details. They're able to interact with you. They can, from that search, call you directly. They can, from that search, see details about what sort of products you offer. From that search, they can see where your location is, you know, if you're close by, if you're far off, the kind of services you offer, your opening hours, your closing hours, so much information which they ordinarily would not see or would not even know about you. Those information are made available to you via the Google My Business tool. So we partnered with Google to be able to list all Flutterwave business owners. So if you have a Flutterwave account, then you get this for absolutely free. We're not charging you for it. So it's just another way of supporting business owners who have registered with Flutterwave. So listing SMEs on Google My Business. To get access to this, all you need to do is sign up on Flutterwave, transact and verify your account, and you get this listing for free. So it's showing people, anyone doing a search, because we all know everyone is at home now, everyone is online, so there's a lot of transactions happening online, people are searching, people are on social media, so we want to be sure that whatever platform people go to, you are visible to them. So that's another response Flutterwave has come up with to ensure that all our SME account holders are listed on Google My Business for free. Okay, next slide. So something else we've come up with is the payment link with inventory and delivery. How does this work? Basically, today, assuming you own a supermarket, and then, of course, the federal government has said you have to shut down. There's no movement. You have to shut down your supermarket. What will you do? You have to comply. But we're saying that you can still transact, right? You can still receive payments and make deliveries, even from the comfort of your home. You don't necessarily have to open up your physical store to be able to do this. So that's what Flutterwave has come up with. It's our payment link with inventory and delivery. How does this work? I'll give a quick scenario. Say a store called Dikachim Superstores, for example, who has a lot of customers walking in every day, and then all of a sudden it's had to shut down. And then the customer calls and then he says, oh, I can't deliver. But you know that that's actually not completely true. With this solution, you can not only take orders, you can also deliver as well. How does it work, right? The payment link. Okay, we have some questions coming in. I think Wendy already talked about questions earlier. So just put in all your questions, and then after the presentation, we'll take the questions. Right, so how it works is the payment link is generated. Can we go to the next slide, please? Right, so to get access to this, again, it's free. We don't charge customers to sign up on Flutterwave. All you need to do is sign up to Flutterwave, then go to your dashboard, which is basically the merchant console, and then you generate a payment link. Now, this payment link is integrated to your inventory system. So every supermarket owner, I'm using supermarket just as an example now, every supermarket owner has an inventory system, because how else would you know if you're running out of items? You know, anybody that wants to make payment today in the traditional sense of making a payment, they come to your supermarket, you log into your application, you see that that item is there, you get the code, and then that's how you know the amount, right? So that inventory system is integrated to the Flutterwave platform. So when you go to your dashboard, you just generate a payment link. That payment link, you send it to the customer, or you put it on your social media platform, or you send it as an email or on WhatsApp, whatever means you use to communicate to your customers. Just put that payment link there. Once the customer clicks on the link, he's now going to see details of everything that you have for sale, or for offer. So if you want to buy toiletries, for example, you select all those items and then you click on the next page. So it's basically just like a do-it-yourself self-service sort of thing. Instead of going physically to the supermarket and going around to select those items, from the comfort of your homes, you just go to the customer's payment link. All the items he has available are displayed, and then you just select the items that you want, and then you go to the next page. Next page, please. Fantastic. So this is just a snapshot of what it looks like. I hope everybody can see the screen, right? So this customer can select all these items, and then he can select the amounts that he wants. If it's just one or two or multiple items, he can select all that on the right-hand side of his page. So once he's done with all of this, he goes on to the next page. The next page basically is getting information about the customer making that payment, right? So if you can see the screen, you see things like full name, email address, phone number, delivery address, CT, and all of that. So the person making that payment puts in all of this information. And the beauty about this solution is there's a back-end integration with the delivery company. So let's say GIG Logistics in this case. So once I put in all my information, I put in my city, I put in my state, I put in my country, the logistics company, of course, this is all automated. There's an automatic algorithm that calculates how much that delivery would cost. So that delivery amount is integrated and included into the amounts that you see to pay as a customer. So as you know, all my cost 10,000 naira, and then my delivery is 1,500. So on the total page, I'll see 11,500 as total of everything. So this has taken care of me having to leave my physical home, go physically to the supermarket, select items, and then pay. All that has been eliminated and it's been taken online. So all you need to do is put in all this information, and then it asks you to verify. And then you go to the next page, which is basically the payments page. So the payment page shows you your order summary, asks you to reconfirm. At this point, you can actually go back and check to be sure everything is in order. It shows you total amount with VAT and delivery, all of that. And then if everything is in order, you now click on the payment option. So of course, you know how the Flutterwave payment gateway works. Once you click on pay, it displays various payment options for you. So you can decide to pay with your card, pay with bank transfer, pay with USSD. Multiple payment options are available. So whichever one you select, and the transaction is authenticated, then it goes through. Now, once the transaction goes through, remember there are three parties involved here. You, the person making payments, the supermarket, and then the delivery company. So each of these parties gets a notification that the payment has been successful. Of course, for every transaction, there is a unique transaction reference in which you're able to determine what all those what the transaction is all about, the details of that order. So this is just a screenshot of what the payment notification looks like. Now you get this sent to your email. Remember, you put in your email, the previous page, you put in your email address. So this sent to your email address. The supermarket owner gets a notification as well. And then the GIG or the delivery company also gets a notification. So for the notification, of course, it comes with details of the order. So GIG, for example, will get a notification saying, pick up order number 1234 from the Kachim Superstores, either same day or next day, depending on what the agreement is. So the Kachim Superstores, they also get a notification saying order number 1234 has been placed. So at this point, the supermarket owner now goes to get the items together. So if you offer same day delivery, for example, once the delivery company gets to his supermarket, he picks it up and then he delivers to the customer. So all that can happen happen same day or next day, depending on what is agreed with the customer and the delivery company. And then you, as the person making the payment from the comfort of your home, your office, wherever. Oh no, no office. There's a lockdown. So the comfort of your home, you just receive your order. You get a call. You're told that your order is on the way. And once you receive it, that's it. That's basically how it works. So it's a very seamless process. I don't know, can we go to the next page? It's a very seamless process. It's easy to implement. You really don't need any technical expertise. Once you have a Flutterwave platform, you're able to do this. You're able to generate this payment link. And like I said, you can put the payment link on your Instagram handle, you can put it on WhatsApp. If you have people calling you, you just get their phone number, text them the payment link, and then they can just initiate that transaction, complete it. And then you get your notifications, you put their order together, the delivery company comes, he picks it up, and then he delivers. So this just takes care of, people wondering, how can I still go about my business now that my store has been locked down? So it takes care of those that still do WhatsApp orders. There's a lot of back and forth. I understand a lot of supermarkets do WhatsApp orders now. So this is the solution for you. If you're still doing WhatsApp orders, you really don't need to do that. Once you have this payment link, it takes care of everything. So Spar Supermarket, for example, we recently did the integration for them, and now people don't even need to go to WhatsApp to order anymore. Just go straight to their website, place your orders, they get the notification, and it gets delivered to your doorstep. So supermarket is just a use case. It doesn't have to be a supermarket. It could be anything you're selling. You don't necessarily need to shut down completely throughout this period, is what we're saying. So this is our response to say, business owners, we care about you. We've come up with so many things to show that we're together in this during this lockdown period. We have our webinars to talk to you about what to do, what not to do. We have our listing on Google My Business to ensure there's visibility of your business. And when there's that visibility and people now contact you, you are able to ensure that you sell to them in a seamless and straightforward manner, which is our payment suite inventory. So these are some of the things we've put together. We have quite a couple of other things, but because of time, we will just start with these three. And then if you have any questions, there's a folder, put your questions in, or you can send us an email afterwards, and then we'll take it from there. Next page. Right, so like I said, we're ready to revolutionize commerce in this period and make sure all our customers have all that they need to get through this period. So are you. We're not charging you. We understand that things are difficult, times are hard. So we're saying all you need to do, sign up on Flutterwave, and you have access to all of these things for absolutely free. Thank you so much for listening. I will hand over now to Tolu. Hello, Tolu. Nice to see you.
Hi. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me very well? Can you hear me good? Yes?
I'm sure they can, yeah.
Yes, cool. Okay, just making sure. Hello, everyone. How are we? My name is Tolulope Akinyele. I'm the Google Partners lead. And I'm sure us, like many of you, are kind of like, what are we into? Like, this was never precedented when we're thinking about 2020 goals and plans. Like, very, very unexpected. However, where there's a challenge, there's also opportunities. And it's time. We're given the gift of time and the different ways in which, we can help our businesses grow, and the different strategies we can actually take to ensure that, our businesses don't have to completely lock down during this time. So I'm going to be talking to you about some things that we're doing at Google to kind of help you and your businesses to thrive, or at least, sustain itself during this period. The next slide. So what's important? It's important that we know that customers are changing in these dynamic times. So say, for example, if you had a store, now nobody's coming into your store. Say, for example, if, people usually did like regular ordering of, say, for example, if you're a health freak like me, smoothies, etc., this will be disrupted because first of all, you need to get your raw produce to your shop, and then you need to process it and then think about delivery. So the way people actually communicate with your business has changed. The way people order from you, the way people interact with you has changed. This is something that's going to be very shocking because many of us have to try and start developing dynamic ways to actually meet and fulfill the needs of our customers. And it's important that during this time, we're thinking very nimble and swift. So that's something for us to bear in mind. Another thing for us to bear in mind is To survive, we need to stay connected. And I'm sure all of us are on social media platforms, we're on the internet, and there's almost like a push, like a deliberate push of information and communication. So, everybody is kind of saying, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here, with via advertising, if it's in advertising, via blog posts, if it's not blog posts, via, referrals, like basically everyone is getting their businesses out there. So how are you staying connected with your people, with your customers? How are you, and what are the things that you're doing that not only will make your customers know that, yes, I know that my customers' behavior is changing, but because I'm, on top of their change, I want to meet them in their area of need. The third will be thriving post-COVID with digital. One thing is certain, we hope that things go back to normal, but you as a business owner will definitely have learned a thing or two about your business, because now you're forced, or if you don't have, or now you're making the most of digital to actually make sure that people are interacting with your brand, make sure you're actually getting your revenue as high as it can be during this time, and trying your best to be as nimble and to actually get the most. So what happens post COVID-19? That's the buzzword now, but it's also important for us to think futuristic. Okay, so the next slide, please. So I'm going to be talking quickly through four easy things to help your business. And naturally, there are a plethora of other things. And after this call, I'll be sharing resources with the Flutterwave crew to send to everyone. But the four things that I think are very, very important, at least as we start thinking about adopting our businesses during this time, will be keeping your customers informed. That will be the first thing. What do your customers know about you? You may need to adjust your business operations during this time. This could mean changing your hours. So Zainab spoke about Google My Business. If you have a Google My Business platform, people will be searching, the restaurants near me, quick delivery, grocery store near me. It's important that you keep your opening hours, you adjust it. So if you're not able to open within the normal times you would have before this period, then you want to keep that updated, because you don't want people to have a negative experience. Now more than ever, it's important that when people actually interact with your brand, they're actually getting what they signed up for when it concerns your brand. What does that mean? If, say, for example, I'm looking for a supermarket and I'm typing, supermarkets near me. If you're a supermarket near me and you're not open at 8 a.m., but your Google My Business profile says 8 a.m., and I contact you and you're not able to serve my needs, that's a negative experience. So it's important that we stay abreast of those types of things. They may seem little, but they make such a difference in this time. If you're closing temporarily, that's okay too. It's important for people to know that during this period, we're closing temporary, but we're going to come back to serve you better. It's better than just being quiet. And many businesses, you contact them, but because they're closed, they don't reach out to you, they don't give you anything. They're just like, doesn't this one know that is Corona times? Please, we're closed. And that way you're actually losing businesses because they don't know you're temporary closed. There's been no communication with them that you're temporary closed. This is very important. And then also changing the types of services you offer. So a lot of in-dining restaurants have changed to kind of like a delivery model. And so it's important that if you're one of those types of businesses, you let people know that, you know what, during this time, we're offering delivery on our menus, right? So people know that, okay, fine, I can't go in to eat, but I can still eat the meals I love eating from this restaurant. It's important that you communicate and keep your customers informed when these types of things are involved. Then you also want to make sure you share this updated information via your online channels. So if you have like a website, it's important that you keep this updated. If you have a business profile on Google, it's important you keep this updated via different social media channels as well. If you have this and you're operating social media channels, it's very, very important that you have this updated as well. And we'll also be sharing links as to, how you can actually change this on your Google My Business profile and to make it easier for you during this time. The second thing will be adjusting your advertising and promotion. Now, as the situation evolves, customer behavior is changing. We all know this. Online advertising is one way to keep your current and potential customers up to date. With Google Ads, if you're running Google Ads, you can communicate this. We can communicate this you can communicate your information via your ads. And it's important that this time you have to think lean as well. So, you know, it's not a situation of you just blasting media out there because you can afford to pay for ads, but also it's important that the kind of information you're giving people are information that will change the bottom line for your business, right? So if it's a brand awareness, when they come onto your platform, if it's a website, if it's, you know, a marketplace, can they actually perform an action? If they can, then it's worth you, you know, investing your advertising dollars. If they can't, what are the things you can do quickly to ensure that with your ads, people can actually go to your site or your online assets to perform an action? This is extremely important. Google Ads, they have built-in automated solutions that could help you optimize your ads campaigns and show the right messages. So if you actually run Google Ads, you would know that in the back end, you know, it's very intuitive. So it will help you in terms of choosing the right words that actually fit your website, etc. So it's important that we make use of those types of features, because most of us may not be able to pay for, you know, a third party to run our ads for us. So what are the things that we're doing ourselves to ensure that if we decide to run ads during this period, we're running it ethically and we're running it we're being sensitive to our customers, and also it's being very effective to us. These are some of the things we can use to ensure that when we're running ads, we're sending the right messages to the right customer. And this is very important, and also at the right time. So nobody wants to be receiving, say for example, if you're running ads, if your business is open 9 to 5, there's no point in you spending extra advertising dollars after 5 o'clock, especially if you know people cannot perform an action during that time. So it's important that we think lean and we think very, very effectively while we're running our ads during this time. Again, we'll be sending some information around how to run your ads, etc., you know, through Flutterwave when they send like a follow-up correspondence. The next thing will be running your business remotely. Many of us have had to learn how to run our business remotely. Some of us are fortunate to be able to know how to run our businesses remotely. But you and your team may already be working remotely, and some of you may just be starting to work remotely. And you have to try it's important you try some tools to help you and the team stay connected during this time. So a number of us, our businesses allow this. A number of us, our businesses don't allow this. However, if your businesses allow you to actually run remotely, it's important that we actually make use of this service. As a team, feeling connected to one another is very important during this time. And also, this is an opportunity for us to foster collaboration. You know, in our offices, you know, we all get very zoned into the things that we do. You know, we're very, very target driven if we are, or we're very, very OKRs or KPI oriented. Now more than ever, this is an opportunity for us to think about how we can work collaboratively. What are the things we can do collaboratively across teams to ensure that our business survives this time and is actually able to thrive? These are some of the things that as business owners, we are able to think about during this time. It's also important that access of documents. I know this may sound very mundane, but you know, it's important to make sure that the people that work for you are able to do their work effectively. So ensuring that, you know, we're able to share data across board effectively. Document sharing should be key. If you guys have like, you know, modules, is important you do maybe weekly modules. Modules will kind of like be meetings where you guys are able to meet one-on-one. And, you know, keeping in touch, etc. So these are things that you can actually do. And there are a number of software that can actually help you do this seamlessly. And it's important that for your businesses, you choose what works the best for you. Another thing will be continuing to adapt to customer behavior. And I know I've said this a number of times, but it's important. The biggest change for most businesses will be the way customer changes during this time. So, customer behavior is changing with new regulations. So you may be wondering, what is your specific customer needs during this time? And what do people want from me as a business during this time? And you can do this by asking them. So it's important you get the most of the people that endorse your business, right? So now more than ever, people have time. So this is an opportunity for you to send maybe like surveys, short surveys. This is an opportunity for you to run maybe like competitions to actually get people to tell you about what they would like from you during this time. and using Google Forms, short and brisk, what would you like from us during this time? How can we serve you better during this time? I think there's something to be said from gathering a wealth of knowledge from your customer base. That's very important. You may also be looking to shift some of your products and services online. So start by thinking about what value you offer to your customers. Are there ways for you to offer the value online? So for example, a retailer with a brick and mortar shop may decide to sell products online. A restaurant may decide to offer pickup and delivery. If pickup is tricky, maybe a delivery service. A personal trainer might begin to think virtually. And I personally have joined a lot of virtual training. I'm sure most of us have, so if you're a trainer, if you're a physical trainer, if you're a baker, if you bake, how can you monetize sharing your knowledge and your talents with people during this time? So even if people are unable to come to you to buy the cupcakes, is there a way you can monetize sharing this information with people? An artist may decide to use YouTube to live stream, teaching classes. So, how to maybe 101 in artistry, 101 in, developing portrait skills, portrait drawing skills, etc. So those are some of the things you can actually think about during this time. Also, it's important for us to consider businesses that didn't think they would have a need for a website. If you don't have a website, what do? You need to start by getting a domain. Now more than ever, even though, we're busy and some of us are a bit scared about the unknown, we're still given the gift of time. So this is an opportunity for us to make sure we have assets that belong to us, creating a website and building one out. Now more than ever, we have the time. So how are we using this time and how are we actually ensuring that we have a website that can feed the needs of our customers? Your website can be simple and should be simple. Just make sure it includes the key information about your businesses and how potential customers can contact you. If you're interested in, say for example, if you're interested in exploring online food ordering options for your website or for your restaurant, you can consider like an ordering app, which is now part of Google. You can also, we can also help you get like quick menus online. You can integrate these types of things online. So people can actually just go onto your website, click on the things they need, and then check out to payment. You can also consider trying a free YouTube channel. And now more than ever, people have started creating YouTube channels because this is a tool that you can actually use to actually spread word out there. And you can also monetize as well. So, this is a good use. So say, for example, if you feel like maybe a website may not properly do my services justice, then YouTube is something that is very personable. You can go in front of the screen, you can speak about your services, you can maybe run weekly sessions or maybe monthly sessions, and then you can think of creative ways in which you can monetize this. So people are able to, contribute towards you sustaining your business and also your talent, sharing your talent during this time. Next slide, please. So with us at Google, what are we doing? We know that information is very key. And starting from today, we're running a number of free webinar series. We have something for educators starting today if you're looking for a job online, working remotely, and business basics. And this will be sharing with you as well. But for you to be able to register quickly, we've kind of put the link below, and you can just go on it and you can start the sessions. These are very, very important because it's good for us during this time to upskill ourselves. Remember, we spoke about a post-COVID world. What happens after post-COVID? Are we going to be able to be competitive with people that are actually taking advantage of digital? We need to make sure that we measure up, and we need to make sure that now more than ever, we're educating ourselves. We're thinking and creating new ways to ensure that we're able to function and we're able to survive during this time and post-COVID as well, and we're able to efficiently work, even if it's via using digital, even if it's via making customer journeys with us seamless. So maybe now I've realized as a business, people don't necessarily have to come into my store because I've been able to create for them an online pack that makes this very easy for them. For supermarkets, if you have supermarkets, if you sell things, this is an important opportunity for us to jump on. Do you understand? Because there are many ways now more than ever. People go on WhatsApp or social media platforms, and they're ordering. How can I ensure that I'm able to actually capture all these things on my website? And because I'm able to capture all these things on my website, I'm able to actually build a customer profile. I'm able to understand my customers. I'm able to learn how to serve them better. So we have some of these resources, and we also have g.co/digital skills as well. If you want to learn many more things about, upskilling your digital skills, I suppose, or your digital competencies. We also have like the skill shop for you to learn about, things like Google Ads, YouTube, running a video, creating content, etc. That will be very, very important as well during this time. So we're here to help, and we are really, really ensuring that we're providing as much as possible when it comes to sharing of knowledge, training, resources, etc. With everyone. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much, Tolu. That was really great. So we are going to go into the Q&A session. There are a lot of questions already, so I'm just going to go straight into it, and I will direct the questions to people as needed. Someone who we have not introduced that is a panelist on this webinar is Dikachim Mwankwo. Dikachim is the product marketing lead for Flutterwave. So I will be bouncing the questions between Dikachim, Zainab, and Tolu to answer your questions as it applies. We have about 25 minutes for this, so I'm going to rush through it as quickly as possible. Okay. Someone is asking, how can a fashion designer harness this period? So I'm going to go first to Tolu, and then if Dikachim and Zainab want to chime in as well, that would be great. So Tolu, do you want to answer the question? I think you're on mute.
Sorry, I was on mute, sorry. As a fashion designer, there would have been a couple of things I'd have liked to know. So the first thing would be, are you a tailor, but are you a fashion designer that has to measure to sew? If you are, then maybe you might want to consider creating outfits or creating, clothing that people can actually order via styling. So say, for example, clothing that would be, let's say, size 10, size 12, easy things, and then create like a website or some form of ordering channel where people can actually come and order from you. I don't know if that's an opportunity for you, especially if you're a designer that has to measure to sew. It's important for you to start thinking of other dynamic ways in which your customers can actually buy your clothing, because the possibility of them coming to you to measure will be very, very non-existent at this point, really. So maybe thinking about a dynamic way of ensuring that at least you're able to produce and also get your clothing out to your customers.
Okay, Zainab and Dikachim, do you guys want to chime in as well? Or?
Yeah, I think I agree with what Tolu said. So for there's like made to other sort of where you have to like take measurements and all that, that might not really work. So you have to sort of pivot to new ways of doing business in this time. You might want to think of ready to wear, and then just put like the standard sizes, on your Instagram page, saying size 10 or size 12, whatever it is. These are the standard prices, just to make it easier for them. So they just see it and then they're able to just order immediately. So that takes care of having to come to you to take your measurements and all that. That would be something you should probably think about as a fashion designer.
Thank you, Zainab, and thank you, Tolu. So, okay, next question. It's actually, I think it's 3 different questions, but I'm going to ask them as one question, Zainab, just because they are all linked to payment links. Someone is asking if the payment link is just for this period of COVID-19 or beyond. And then someone else is asking, how do I connect with payment links? Is it one payment link per sale? How do I notify the delivery man? And then someone is asking, what if I have my own delivery service? How do I integrate it into the platform? So first question would be payment links. Is it just for this period or is it for post-COVID as well?
Okay, so it's not just for this period, right? It came about, right, because of the need that or rather, there was that need. Yes, there's that need, and then we had to respond to it. So it's not just for this period. It's something that you can still use even post-COVID, right? For the second question, or I think that's the third question, the person says he has his own delivery company. That's great. So we have, like I said, this is payment links with delivery and inventory attached to it. So we have the regular payment links that you can just send that doesn't have delivery attached to it. That's not a new solution. It's always been in existence. So for those customers that already have their own delivery process, sorted out, you can just send the regular payment links that still captures all the information that you need, but it doesn't come with delivery. And then what's the third question?
Third question is, how do I connect with payment links? Is it one payment link per sale? How do I notify the delivery man?
Okay, so it's not one payment link per sale. Like I said, it's a payment link that has all that information. So if you sell multiple items, you can just put in the reference numbers or the names of the items there. So they can, with one payment link, select whatever it is they need to do, and then they're putting in all their unique information. So it's one payment link, but you can use it multiple times because every information that goes in there and every payment that is successful, it has a unique payment number, a unique reference number that you can use to identify each sale. Yeah, so I think that's it.
Okay, thank you very much. Next question. This question is Dikachim related. This person is asking, I have an online marketplace where we work with different vendors, and now because of the lockdown, some of the vendors are not able to access their products, which means we can't deliver them. So my question is about keeping posting on our social media or using Google Ads for advertising. Can we keep posting all types of products and yet we can't deliver them, or it's good to post only the ones we know we're able to deliver?
All right. Hello, everybody. First of all, the point is you've always had these products, right? So I don't think that you should. I mean, we're in a COVID world right now, but I don't think it should take over every decision you make. So yes, it's important that you don't mislead people. You know how it is when you go to restaurants and have the thing on the menu. Oh, God, person will get never there around us, or person will cook up or something. It's very frustrating for the customer. So for customer experience, it's important that you show them what you have. But in terms of advertising, I don't think that with advertising you can keep it generic. So for instance, let's say you sell household supplies. You don't necessarily need to say, I sell detergent, for instance. You can keep it at household supplies, and then when they come in, you can point out that, okay, this is available, that is available. You've always sold all those things anyways. So it's not as if you are lying or anything. So just keep it a little broader, or you can advertise the particular things that are needed right now. So say, for instance, you also have disinfectants, you have hand sanitizers. You know what everybody is crazy about right now. If you have those as well, I mean, you can name those, but generally try to be a bit more generic.
Okay, thank you very much, Dikachim. Next question. Tolu, this question is for you. How much do Google Ads cost? I want to know more about how to market my service online. That's what someone's saying.
Sorry, guys. Okay. So Google Ads cost varies really, but there's no minimum. So maybe a way of looking at it is, my question to you will be, what is your budget and how can you make use of your budget effectively? So how much do you have, and how can we work effectively to ensure that your budget is able to at least reach a certain amount of customers that will serve your business? So when it comes to costing, there's no minimum or there's no set cost. The platform works based on your budget. Naturally, the bigger your budget, the wider your reach. However, during this time, it's important that we learn how to work effectively with what we have and see how that works. And then if it's worth more of an investment, you can then think about scaling and increasing this figure.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, another question is, okay, so a lot of people have been asking, just to clarify, we will be sending the presentation to everyone after this. We're also going to be sending resources to get started on Flutterwave, and useful links from Google as well, including the link to sign up for Google's webinars. So just to answer it in general, we will be sending that information to you guys. Okay, so next question will be, as a tech company dealing in building robust digital ticketing systems for buses, trains, and ferries, how can I take my business online? For now, my sales team has been concentrating on physically visiting bus operators to look for business. How best can we reach the commuters utilizing the digital means? I think anyone can take this question.
Wendy, I kind of missed the last sentence.
All right, it says, how best can we reach the commuters using the digital means? That's what this person is asking. So basically, it's a tech company. They build robust digital ticketing systems for buses, trains, and ferries, but they want to see how they can pivot into like marketing and promoting online for commuters as well.
So I don't know if anyone wants to take this, but I'll make an attempt. First of all, I suppose in this period, the first thing that is I mean, we may be looking for essential businesses. So during this time, I know essential workers have to be on the move. So what are the ways in which you can digitally use, or you can market maybe your services to companies that employ essential workers? And this is, I mean, this in terms of marketing strategies for you, this will be a bit more direct and more targeted. So you avoid waste. Because not everyone is going to be on the road anyway. So what are the ways in which you can actually reach essential employment, people that actually have essential employment? How can you reach them? Going to be an overview of what you do, offering them services, if there are discounts in which you can offer them. Now more than ever, people want to make sure that people are able to transport safely. So maybe you want to up your, safety. Safety can be one of your unique selling points. We're big on safety. We're big on, ensuring that our drivers and our staff are very clean, in a clean transport, moving you from one place to the other. So, I mean, you can be creative with it. But it's one of those businesses during this time that will be very limited. So I would say that maybe all efforts should be focused on essential workers, businesses where people must, go to serve us during this time, and they're very, very brave. So maybe that could be something that you're focusing on, as opposed to a mass message, because not everybody is able to jump on a bus or transport system. So what are the ways in which you can actually target people that need people to actually get to their places of work to function?
Okay, so in addition to Tolu, thank you very much, Tolu. I think I actually agree with you. And I would like to point out that this is also time for such businesses to look for partnerships. Yeah. So as you're giving a discount, say, for instance, you find Lagos State, the hospital in Yaba, I don't know what's called now, where they are treating people. And you are able to say, you know what, it usually costs 1,000 naira, but we'll give you a 500 naira. All you have to do is you have to endorse us as well. And you're now our partner. So you are going to be able to use these people for your marketing after now. And you should also tell stories, tell stories about people you're getting to work. This person was able to get to work today to help save lives just because, they provided service for them. So there's a lot of goodwill that can be captured now.
Yeah.
Okay. Our next question is for Zainab. Someone is asking how they can connect their payment links to Instagram.
Okay, so just go to your Flutterwave dashboard, right? Generate the payment link and just put it on your Instagram bio. That's it. So there's no integration or anything. You just generate the link and put it on your Instagram bio, and then you can put up a post saying, to make payments easier, click on link on bio. Once they do that, it just takes straight to the page where your listing is done, and then they're able to make payments to you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so this next question is, I think it's a little bit tricky, because it's a travel industry question. So it is, I mean, the travel industry has been greatly affected by this. So someone is asking, what can a travel agency do at this period of lockdown to continue to generate sales?
I'll make an attempt. So I don't know about to continue to generate sales, because at this point in time, I suppose everybody is kind of like on edge about traveling. We can't even travel, but maybe we can you can still let the travel agency live. What does that mean? So this would be a time for you to actually contact your customers, to give you testimonials and to give you experiences. And so these are things you can actually start pushing. So you can do maybe spotlights on customers that maybe did like a package deal to, say, for example, Istanbul, when people could still travel, you know, and they can talk about their experience, how they were interacting with you, how you got them there safely, you know, communication. So this might be an opportunity for you to do a lot of customer services, customer stories, really. And also for you to kind of like think futuristic. So yes, you cannot travel now, but we're working on ensuring that once the world is open up, you know, we're able to get you to these types of destinations. So you can kind of do like wish lists. You can add maybe travel wish lists to your platform. You know, where would you like to go? You can run competitions. You know, we're working on a package, an all-inclusive package. Where would you like to go, and give them destinations? So you can kind of create some form of engagement in your community. In terms of people actually booking travel, naturally, this will be, you know, unless somebody desperately had plans to, you know, be somewhere at a particular time after this post-COVID, I doubt, you know, anyone is going to want to be thinking about traveling. But I still feel like, you know, it's an opportunity for you to at least gain customer loyalty. You can build your customer base. Now is an important time for you to use imagery, for you to use storytelling, which are very, very strong skills, for you to use content, if you had any content, and for you to actually start building, you know, your platform, and actually just getting people brand loyalty. This is more of a brand loyalty time, basically. That's what I can say.
Okay, just to add to what Tolu said, it's really just ensuring that top of mind approach, right, is still with your customers. So even though they're not able, when they do make up their minds to travel, you're the first person they think about. So that top of mind approach, you know, just constant engagement, you know, Q&As, you know, short quizzes, things that travel related, you know, just let them know that you're still able to provide those services, even though you're not able to provide them at this moment. So yeah, so I think that's a very good one. Constant engagement with your customers are things that you can do at this time.
Awesome, thank you. Thank you, Tolu and Zaina, for that. Next question. This question is actually it's for Tolu and Zainab, actually. So this person says they have an account with Flutterwave. A few days ago, they received a call from our partners that are from the Google partners that are the agency that is working on verifying businesses on Google My Business. But they're asking is it different? Like they're asking them to pay $100 for premium listing, but how is it different from the free listing offered? So I don't know, Tolu, do you want to share the difference between premium listing and the regular listing, sorry.
So Google My Business is free, first of all. So the initial listings are free of charge. We don't cost. In terms of the additional premium, I would need to understand, you know, what we're offering. And I can look into that and also send that maybe as an added question, an added answer to the question. But Google My Business is a free service. So I'm guessing the added listing was going to be an add-on. I'm not educated about this. So I'll have a look and I'll make sure that in our communications, we send you an answer as to what, you know, what that is and the differences, if there are, etc.
Okay. So next question. I think so. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to answer all the questions. Someone is asking that what Google tools can makeup artists use to market ethically this period?
Pardon?
what Google tools can makeup artists use to market ethically during this period?
YouTube, 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 YouTube. Listen, if you're a makeup artist on YouTube, at least you can guarantee one view, because that has been my job, like trying to make sure I use this time to get my brows on fleek, this contour thing, fixing up the lashes. So to be honest, YouTube is your friend. You know, if you don't have a channel, you know, get a channel. You don't have to put yourself under pressure in terms of equipment. You know, you're starting and you're exploring. So if you have a good phone, you can use your phone, or you can use like a laptop that has like a webcam, and just put yourself out there and try it out. You don't have to have like majorly long content. You can start with maybe like 5-minute content. You can talk about, you know, products you love to use. You can maybe one day focus only on the eyes. You can focus on, you know, contour. You can focus on creating a base for makeup. I mean, there's so many things. And the good thing about that is also people online, like if you go on YouTube, you can actually find people in this in the beauty community that are doing this thing. So you just have to do it in a way that is unique to you. So I think this is something that you should actually take, you know, harness and use. And then once you've done your video, you can share it with your customers. You can share it on your social media platform and encourage people to actually come and view. Do you understand? That way, and then if there's a way you can maybe monetize, if there's a way, you know, maybe you can do like webinars of your own, maybe workshops, and get people to maybe pay a certain amount to learn how to do their eyebrows or put their lashes on or do a makeup or do owambe or tie gele, whatever the case. You know, that's also another thing you can actually do as well. Monetizing via webinars, via, you know, trainings online, etc. So I think for a makeup artist, there are a number of ways in which you can actually be creative. And yes, there's a lot of opportunity during this time to at least get customer base via YouTube. Again, it also exposes you to an international audience, which is good for you as a brand. And then also thinking about webinars in which you can actually monetize. So you can start with maybe a 10-man webinar, 5-man, 20-man, depending on the capacity and depending on how interactive you want your webinars to be.
Okay, thank you so much, Tolu. I have one question which I think I'm just going to answer. Someone is asking, is webinar service available in Kenya and East African market? So we have been trying our best to get speakers from different parts of Africa, because this is specifically for businesses within Africa. So we are definitely going to have an East African representative and speaker that can speak to the nuances of being a business owner in East Africa soon, and we will definitely announce that when we get to that. But I just wanted to answer that question because I know that a few people are concerned about that. However, many of these things that we're talking about, especially Google, are all related to, I mean, it's a global thing. Google is available globally, so you can definitely utilize Google services. Google My Business is a global product that they have, and also Flutterwave as well is obviously global. So you can receive payments, and then you can also get visibility for yourself as a business on Google. Someone is asking, and I think this is a great question, a general question. The person says that they sell carrier and essential oils, but I think this applies to many business owners that are like one-man businesses. The person has lost their mojo because of the pandemic and feels it is insensitive to keep advertising. What can the person do?
Sorry, Wendy, can you say that again?
It's an online business that sells carrier and essential oils, but I think this is a great question that applies to most businesses. Person has lost their mojo because of the pandemic and feels like it is insensitive to keep advertising. What can the person do?
All right. Let me try. It's a pandemic, but not the end of the world. So hopefully, hopefully it's not the end of the world. Your business doesn't end just because there's a pandemic. I mean, we feel bad. We all sympathize and want this to go away as soon as possible so life can return to some bit of normalcy. But in the meantime, you have to also realize that you are a business. And being a business means that the books have to balance out. By the time you end 2020, you don't want to have a very big hole in your books. You don't want your business to die by the time it's over. Because if you stop selling and people start forgetting you, then you might as well not have a business when this is over, and you probably regret it. So it's best that um, even if you have to take a few days off, maybe 2-3 days, just play, no business. Try to deal with your mental health. Speak to the people that matter to you, your loved ones. Try to take a little break, and then you come back to it. Essential oils, for instance, will be used still. Yes, many people may not be wanting to buy, but if you want to feel better about it, why don't you say, okay, for every bottle of essential oil sold, we are going to give food to some street people. So say, for instance, you want to start donating, say, 20% of every profit you make. Now, you are going to satisfy your conscience, knowing that in the middle of a pandemic, you are doing good. And people are going to see you as a responsible business owner as well. So it's sort of a win-win. You do business anyway. So think about ways you can help the pandemic and also do business. If you sell clothes, for instance, for every clothes sold, we donate 5 masks to the nurses fighting on the front line in Yaba or something. Just, it goes on and on. There's a lot more that can be done. But always realize that after COVID, the world will still be there, and you don't want to be there with a dead business. Yeah.
I think also beyond that,
Tolu wants to talk.
Sorry, Tolu, carry on.
No, sorry. And to add to what Dikachim says, I can imagine as well the overwhelming feeling that you probably have. So it's also important for us this is the time to actually make use of the people we follow on social media, if that makes sense. So look at creative ways in which people are actually doing things, see how it fits in with the way you feel. And then it's okay for you to, if it makes sense for your business, kind of replicate those types of things for your business. Because I know there's also like a brain fatigue and there's lethargy of the brain. It's almost like, oh my God, I'm so overwhelmed. So make use of, examples out there, make use of how people are actually handling the situation, their situation. And it's okay for you during this time to, not steal with pride, but, deal with pride, if that makes sense. And make it your own. So, and also, again, there's something about pressure. It's important that we're very, very kind to ourselves during this time. And nobody has the formula. And literally, for the first time in the world, everyone is literally learning on the go, if that makes sense. So, there's no right way, there's no wrong way. And what is important is you're doing something that feels true to yourself and you're making a difference if that's important to you, the best way you know how. So I would say that, during this time, especially for small businesses that feel like we still need to make money, but I feel really bad telling people to buy from me because, I'm sure they're dealing with other important things. It's important for you to just realize that, like Dikachim says, there is a life after post-COVID. The second thing is your business really is important to you. And the third thing is there's something to be said for a business that continues to run and also makes a difference in the world. So, if with these kind of points in mind, you can then think about creative ways in which you can still, get word out that your customers buy from you, if that's the case, but also let them know that they're contributing towards, the present cause and the creative ways in which you're going to actually be able to do this with them.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, so I pretty much wanted to say like combination of both. So next question. The next question, Tolu, is for you. There are a few questions about getting verified on Google My Business. Obviously, Flutterwave is offering that. We're offering, verification of Google My Business is free all the time. But there are a few people that are saying that they are trying to get verified. They are being told that they need an agent or that it's going to cost them some money. How many days does it take to get verified on Google My Business? There's a lot of questions related to that. How can a business operating from home register for Google My Business as well? That's another question.
So registering on Google My Business is free. In terms of, and verification is actually free as well. So in terms of people that, I'll just handle this in two fronts, right? So registration is free, verification is free. So if you're in a situation where you've been told that, you have to pay for verification, etc., that's not the case. Maybe what we can do is, I don't know if Wendy is able to actually send maybe a short form where we actually get your details and see how we can actually get you verified and with everything you need. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, even if you're a business from home, as long as you have some form of physical location, you might not be working from there now, it is still possible for you to get to be on Google My Business. And the link is google.com/Google My Business. And we can also share that with you as well. I can actually go and then register for Google My Business. In the event, if you're a Flutterwave customer and you want to do this with Flutterwave, you can also send the team an email to just let them say, I'm a Flutterwave customer, I would like to register on Google My Business. And then they're able to actually work with the team to get you on Google My Business and get you verified as soon as possible.
Awesome, thank you, Tolu. Next question is for Zainab. Please, can you, this is a myth-busting question. Someone says they're in the health business and they've created a site, but they don't trust any other payment gateway apart from Flutterwave. But apparently we're not supporting e-commerce on health. So what is the person supposed to do? So I would like for you to answer this question so that we can dispel those myths.
Maybe I'll need to get a bit more information, but as far as I know, there's no restriction on health. We have quite a lot of pharmacies, HMOs, hospitals, quite a lot of them on Flutterwave gateway at the moment. So there's no restriction to the best of my knowledge. That's why I said, let me get a bit more information on that. Perhaps it's something to do with your compliance documents, whatever it is. Just let's get that information afterwards. But for healthcare, there's no restriction on that. Hygieia, a couple of other HMOs, hospitals, Synlab, pharmaceuticals, they're all on Flutterwave and they're transacting with no issues at all. So please let's know maybe after the webinar what those specific details are so that we can look into it.
Yeah, so you can send an email to hi@flutterwavego.com and we will be able to answer your questions. Okay. Someone is asking, and I think this is a general question that we need to clarify. During the presentation, the deck kind of has specific GIG logistics in there. And I think a lot of people are assuming that this is the company that we're going to be using for the delivery, for the delivery side of things. Can you just clarify how it works, maybe from a general perspective regarding delivery, the delivery companies are partnering with, and how the payment links work? Because I think some people are a little bit confused about that.
Okay, so just to clarify, it's not just GIG Logistics. GIG Logistics is one of the logistics partners that we've partnered with. There's so many others. I don't know if I should mention them, but it's not just GIG Logistics, so it could be any other one. So that integration has happened on the back end. You would just, as the business owner, would get that notification from the logistics company saying, I'm here to pick up this order, or I'm coming to pick up that order at so time, right? So that back end integration has happened between Flutterwave and the logistics company. So you as the business owner, you really don't need to do any other integration or any other interfacing with the logistics company. It's just when they give you the call, you agree time to pick up, day to pick up, and that's how it works. For the payment link, so I mentioned earlier that today we have payment links. If you are a Flutterwave customer and you go to your dashboard, you see there's an option to generate payment links. So that one, there's no integration to inventory and delivery. So that's just the customer wants to pay you. You send that link to them, they pay you, and then you receive that notification that a payment has been made, and then you sort out the delivery with the customer or with your delivery company. But this new payment link solution I talked about is going to be an upgrade to the existing one, and which you just see in your dashboard as well. So you also don't need to do any additional integration. You see it on your dashboard in a matter of days, I think. You just click on this payment link with inventory and delivery. So once you do that, you send that link to the customer. The customer, when he receives it, clicks on it, and then all those details will be captured by the link, and then you get notification on all those details. What I can do is maybe after this webinar, we can share something that speaks a bit more in detail on how the payment link would work. So when we're doing like a recap email, we can just put a link to that video or something to show a bit more information on how the payment link works. So I hope that would help.
Okay, I'm sorry. I saw this comment and I think it's really great. Someone called Kemi Lewis says, if you've lost your mojo, spend time educating people as well. By the time it's over, your people have knowledge and will be gingered to buy from you. This is, I think, this is in response to the person who said that it felt weird advertising during this period. I'm going to answer this person's question. The person says that I have a store that is presently locked because of the lockdown nationwide. Our customers are ready to order and pay, but they want their orders delivered immediately. How do we manage this as most of our products are at the store? So my answer to this question would be, you can communicate to customers. I think that what the solution to this would just be communication and direct communication with your customers. Maybe your staff are only able to get to the store once or twice a week or once a week, and then you can communicate this information to your customers by informing them that, oh, our delivery period is going to be extended because of the lockdown, but we send out orders on this day, and counting from this day, you will receive your order on this day. Just to manage the expectations, I think that customers are generally understanding during this period. Everyone knows that businesses are facing some challenges in terms of delivery and operational schedules and stuff, especially if you were a brick and mortar business that has pivoted to like an online model now. So I would say that you can just communicate to your customers. People are very understanding during this period. It depends on your business as well. I'm not sure what it is. Some products do have to probably be delivered immediately, but I think that most people will be understanding as long as it is communicated to them. I hope that answers your question. Okay, so we have quite a few businesses that are asking about, starting a business or what they should do for marketing if they are not able to kick off with a business that was scheduled to launch. So an example of this is someone that is saying that they are starting a handbag company, and because of the lockdown, they couldn't get supplies to actually start producing and making prototypes. So the question is, how do they engage customers on social media in this period or grab their attention when they actually don't have the products to show, or they don't have it to post, and they don't have the raw material, so they cannot really show behind the scenes content of the production of the bags. So how do they go around this? Does anybody want to take a stab at this question? What did you say, Zainab?
I said it's coming soon. The product is coming soon.
Dikachim, do you want to answer this question? I'm actually, yeah. You're on mute.
Sorry. You said the question about when we are launching.
No, so someone is asking that they're starting a handbag company that was supposed to launch, but because of the lockdown, the person can't get supplies, they can't start producing, they can't make prototypes, and also obviously they don't have the supplies, so they can't do like behind the scenes content. So how do they engage their customers on social media during this period and grab their attention when they don't actually have the products to show or to post or to deliver?
They just need to be a bit more creative. So they need to think about, they need to, first of all, join TikTok. It sounds silly, but there's a lot of good content there that will inspire you. I'm not joking, actually. there are all kinds of creative things people are doing when they don't have what they want, what they need to do it. So, for instance, some people who are missing being on airplanes are taking pictures of themselves with a toilet seat beside them. You know, the toilet, the folding one, the one at the top of the seat, the bowl. Yeah. So if you open it and by the side, if you take a picture very close, it will look like an airplane window until you zoom out, especially if there's a screen that has clouds. So you put a screen that has clouds, static, you put the toilet thing there, and then you take a picture of yourself. So that's just an example. Creating things when they don't have what they need to create that. So what if they got in on that kind of act with their handbag? So the handbag was supposed to look like this, supposed to look like that. Why don't you start doing fun things where you figure out how you can use a bandana and turn it into a handbag this week? And then next week, you have people to suggest what you can turn into a handbag. They say a pillowcase, right? You figure it out. The upper week say, what else do you want me to turn into a handbag? Toilet roll. Okay. I figure out how I can fold toilet roll to make it. It's going to take something from you. But if you want to engage people when you don't have what you need, you just need to think outside the box. You don't need to do the exact same thing you've always been doing. So that's just one idea. And TikTok will help, with those kind of ideas.
Yeah.
Also, they can, this is also time to ramp up communication. So if they have a database of their customers, say an email database, they can start giving them updates on how things are going. If they can get pictures from their suppliers and send it, okay, this is what's happening, that's what's happening, you know what? They can go ahead, create a page, say a landing page, and then tell the same customers that they can pre-book the bags. So say the bags are going to cost 6,000 naira each. They decide, you know what, if you pay 1,000 now, post-COVID, you get a bag, only 100 slots available. It's like a Kickstarter type thing. And yeah, they might run a loss at it, but the thing is that those 100 people that pay you 1,000 naira will not let go around. You sort of tie them in. You can also decide to, for instance, a good example, I just remembered, truck costs around over $30,000, but for you to get in on it, you have to pay $100 only. And people have paid that. A lot of people will probably not end up paying the rest of the money, but Tesla has your attention, and that's what matters. So you can do that as well to grab people's attention and hold just a bit of their money. You don't need to hold all of their money. Just a bit of their money will make them keep coming back to you because you have their money. Yeah, they can also do a special edition that is going to launch then. If you're part of people that are buying now, you're going to get that. The rest of them are going to get ordinary bags. So maybe have some gold trimmings or something. Call it the gold edition or something. You just need to be creative.
I think in addition to that, you can also kind of pull content from other businesses that are doing things that you admire. And I want to be careful about what I'm saying, but basically, luxury brands in general will have content on how they produce some of their products. So luxury brands that make handbags will usually have that kind of content on their social media platforms. What I would say is highlight those things. I think that in a way, people make the association between your brand and the kind of content that you are highlighting. They also see that you are doing enough research, which kind of influences the kind of products that you will be creating when you do start creating the products. So what I would say is highlight many things that people don't know. Maybe even take it as an opportunity to do some educating about handbags. Maybe good handbag care. So you probably have some bags that you already own that you can use for these kind of tutorials. Like how should you be cleaning your bags? How should you be storing your bags? What are the things that you are doing that are making your bags get damaged and not be used to the best of like for as long as you want them to be used for. Stuff like that. So being able to answer people's questions about the general topic. So instead of thinking so particularly about your business, think about the general category, fashion. And then what are the things that people are doing now? So they actually said TikTok, but TikTok is actually really great. There's this challenge that people are doing now called the pillow challenge. And it's like people just showing the different ways they can wear pillows.
Yes.
It's really weird and really ridiculous. But you can show the different ways that you can wear handbags. Like or like the different ways that you can carry a bag. You mean you can make it fun. Fashion is fun. So I think that you can definitely go crazy with it. And yeah, I hope that answers your question. So I would just take one more question and then we're going to have to end this where we've run over by about 20 something minutes. So I'm going to see if I can answer this question. This question is for Tolu actually. Someone is asking that they're already listed on Google My Business, but that people's reviews are not showing. Is it general, and is there any help, or is there any way we can direct them for help on why their customers' reviews are not showing?
Sorry, I was on mute again. So in terms of reviews, we haven't encountered that problem. So maybe it's unique to you. So I'll just say, Wendy, I don't know if there's a way we can kind of get the details and see how we can help or dive into that specific issue.
Yeah, I think.
Is it possible?
Yeah, do you want them to email a particular email address? Or?
I lost you.
Oh, I said, do you want them to email a particular email address?
Yes, so maybe we'll share, if you guys have any help, and then just highlight that. And
Yes.
we've not come across this issue. It might be something, maybe a setting in your in the back end, so we can have a look to see what the problem is for you.
Okay, and I think, so this is a question that we have a few versions of. People want to know fair enough, you say you can spend any amount on Google for Google advertising, but like what is a good amount as a small, medium business that you should spend? That's the question that someone has asked.
So, the thing is, when you're thinking about advertising, there are lots of things come into consideration. So what kind of business are you? Can people actually fulfill an order on your website? Are you doing brand awareness? Are you doing more of a conversion? Do you want people to convert? Do you want a situation where, like it really, really depends. So when it comes to figures, to be honest with you, I don't have an exact figure because it depends on what you're using your advertising to reach, really. So I would say that, again, like I had said before, you have to understand what your minimum spend for the kind of advertising I'm trying to run. And then because the Google ad at the back end is very intuitive anyways, it's going to be easy for you to see where's the traffic coming from, where are people dropping off, are people actually converting, if they are, on average, how much are they spending? And then that can actually inform if you add more money into your advertising. But, I wouldn't be able to say a general figure for an SME. Again, SMEs are very different, right? So there's the really, really micro, there's the bigger, there's, the biggest kind of SME. So it kind of depends on, the goals, what your objectives are really running the campaigns. So because of that, we just say work with the budget you have. And then based on your budget and what you're actually getting back, then able to say, does this make sense for me to add some more money into my advertising? And then also maybe something to consider is for those of us that came to our sessions, if you didn't come, we have a program called the Digital Business Manager. And what they do is they can actually help you run your advertising. So what you do is you give them the budget and they run it for free for you. This is a cost that is handled by Google. And the idea is for you to actually get to know how far your budget can actually reach, and with professionals helping you. So this could be something that you may want to sign up for. It will also be sent in the link. And then you can kind of talk to a digital business manager. They'll kind of ask you about your objectives, what you want to achieve, your budget, and based on your budget, they can run for you a campaign. I think they're only with you for, the first 6 weeks, but they'll kind of work with you in terms of teaching you how to actually run your campaigns in the back end, helping you manage your budget, letting you know if you need more budget, letting you setting up your campaigns to ensure that you meet your objectives. So that's another thing as well you can actually consider.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. So unfortunately, we're going to have to end this. We're like 30 minutes over time, but we're going to share all the resources that have been mentioned. And then another thing is, I see a lot of marketing questions, questions about how to market your business and what you should be doing for marketing and stuff like that. And I think that we're going to have to do a Grow My Business webinar marketing edition, because I think that some of these questions, they don't really apply here, but we can definitely answer them in a marketing focused webinar. So thank you so much, Tolu. Thank you, Zainab. Thank you, Dikachim. Thank you everyone for joining us. We're gonna have our next webinar session next week. So thank you so much. Have a great day. We're sending out the resources tomorrow, so please just expect that in your inbox. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys.
Bye. Thanks for joining in.
Bye.